Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Forward DFW together with the Dallas Morning News. I'm Ron Corning, and this is literally one of my favorite podcasts all year with the United Way and their look at social innovation. Their Social Innovation Accelerator program is just one of many programs that the United Way implements in order to help make our world a better place to live. And they do it with the help of businesses and organizations that compete for money to continue their own social programs. We have narrowed it down to the top 5 finalists. They are joining us right now. There they are. You'll hear from them in just a moment. And the process to get here has been pretty extraordinary. Ann Montgomery from the United Way is joining us to talk more about the Social Innovation Accelerator program and the big event, the pitch, coming up on April 19th, where our 5 finalists will compete for $250,000.
That's right. That's right.
Let's make the point here. The money is great, and it's hard to do anything socially innovative and reach people without the money, and yet there's so much more to this.
Yeah, there really is. Financial capital, like you said, it's a huge part of funding and fueling nonprofits and for-profits who are social entrepreneurs. But part of our program is also investing human capital and social capital in addition to the financial capital, because we take organizations who are at this really key inflection point. They've got some traction, they've started to see some success, but in order to really take off and to scale and grow and have the impact they want to have, they need additional capacity building. And that's where we come in. And that's why our program is so much more than just allocating funding.
Yeah, you guide, you share ideas, you put them in touch with members of your alumni network who mentor. There are mentorship programs and so forth. And we described this in years past as sort of like the Shark Tank for social innovation, and that these organizations have the opportunity to present to the United Way and a panel what it is exactly they're about. And in that, they end up getting the money moving forward. But it's even a process just to get through it. It's almost like with American Idol, we've often said, you don't have to win to have a successful career. The people who don't necessarily make it to this final round leave with a better sense of who they are and how to move forward.
Absolutely. That's our goal. This is a year-long program. We start with 10 fellows at the beginning who, like you said, it's a process. They've pitched to get in, they've submitted an application, and we work with them hand in hand for several months. First through a boot camp where we really cover a lot of the basics of being a social entrepreneur, even starting with value proposition. What is your value proposition as an organization and as a founder, in addition to other topics? Then after boot camp, we move into a mentor accelerator where we pair them with several really amazing mentors from our community, from our donors, from our companies and partners. And those mentor teams work hand in hand with the fellows to achieve 3 milestones. It's basically their glorified to-do list, but it's 3 things that they really need to do in order to move the needle on the impact they're having. And so all of that has happened before we even get to competing for the 5 spots in the pitch.
Yeah, and those 5 spots are an event called The Pitch.
Yes.
It's coming up on April 19th, and you're inviting the public. You're hoping to capacity some 650 to show up at the Toyota Music Factory, where they'll have an opportunity not only to witness how these other organizations are presenting themselves, but they'll have an opportunity to network as well.
And to vote.
And
to vote on
and
who
to
gets
vote.
some of this funding.
Yeah, and every vote counts. So you'll hear the pitches, you'll hear the votes. And in fact, when we come back in just a moment, we'll have a preview of what those pitches will sound like. Yes, there are our finalists standing by. We'll have more from them in just a moment. And here's how you can be involved with The Pitch on April 19th. Don't miss out on The Pitch, Wednesday, April 19th at 6 p.m. at the Pavilion at Toyota Music Factory. Tickets are $50, but you can save $15 with the promo code FORWARD. Your parking, drinks, and food are covered. Don't miss out on this incredible networking event. Go to unitedwaydallas.org/The Pitch to get your tickets now. Welcome back to Forward DFW, everyone. We are talking the United Way and their Social Innovation Accelerator. It culminates into a big night called The Pitch on April 19th. We've told you how you can get tickets. And now you have an opportunity to hear from the 5 finalists and each of their organizations. And guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to treat this like it's the pitch leading up to the pitch, a 15-second elevator pitch letting us know what your organizations do, your mission, and how the United Way can help you moving forward. Let's begin with March to the Polls and Camila Correa Bordeaux. Camila?
Hi, thank you so much. We are a nonpartisan nonprofit that is all about voter engagement, bringing historically underrepresented groups into the voting process, and we're excited to be a part of the pitch.
Oh, very nice. Okay, Tammy Johnson is joining us with Empowering the Masses with a focus on education, but not primarily education, Tammy, right?
Right, not primarily education. We currently utilize our food pantry as an entryway point to get individuals into our career training. Our goal is to have a community of vitality, providing our community with the opportunity for self-sustainability through our workforce training.
So you've made the connection that if someone is food insecure, chances are there's something else that's contributed to that, including maybe being underemployed or unemployed, and you work to that end.
Absolutely. So the food pantry is that entry point. There's always some other underlying issue when someone's facing food insecurity. So our goal is to address that issue first and then provide our neighbors with the opportunity to become self-sustainable through the workforce training.
All right, Tammy, thank you. Wayne Sims is joining us with Cornerstone Crossroads Academy. And Wayne, in many ways, and this theme will emerge throughout this conversation, what each of you do either complements or dovetails off the other. And I see some correlations here with Tammy's mission.
Absolutely. And thank you, Ron. And so we're a Second Chance High School here in South Dallas. And again, similar to Tammy's organization, we sit at the intersection of education, income, and health. And so we provide robust case management to our students to help them achieve their goal of graduating or attaining their high school equivalency. And ultimately, we want to leverage a workforce program to help them enter the workforce and make a livable wage. Thank you. Appreciate that very much, Wayne. Dania Carter is with Heart of Courage, also an education component with your program, Dania. But beyond that, where do you think your core mission lies?
Our core mission for Heart of Courage actually lies, we kind of touch on everything from education to income to health. So we work with mothers who are actually impacted by the child welfare system. And what we're able to do is walk with them side by side to help them to accomplish goals that are affecting their income and livelihood, their education and support. A lot of them only have maybe an 8th grade or 9th grade education. And then it also has to deal with health. We're making sure that they're focused on helping them through their depression or their PTSD. Many have actually were in foster care themselves at one time. So we have a lot of things that we overcome. So we look at the full picture of the mother and help her to overcome those obstacles so that she can bring her child home into a better environment.
Yeah, what I think ties all of you together is this notion that the work you do, while it may be primarily focused in one area, you have to take a holistic approach. That applies as well with Tracy Hardwick and her organization, Together We Thrive. We often say, Tracy, we need to look out for and care for our most vulnerable. You've really defined that for us.
You know, these are youth. Ron, thank you, by the way, for having us. But these are youth, thousands living across North Texas that are carrying labels that they were given, didn't ask for, and definitely don't deserve. The difference with Together We Thrive is we get to serve these youth in the school, which is a safe haven during the school hours. And our life coaches aren't volunteers. They are professionals that are carefully selected, all have college degrees and have years of experience dealing with youth with trauma. And so we get to meet with them one-on-one during the school day in a safe haven and get to walk with them towards graduation and sustainability.
Let me ask each of you this question, because we talk about the money that's up for grabs. On April 19th at the pitch, it totals $250,000, which will be given out in various ways to each of you for being there that night and for making it to the finals. But money aside, getting to this point has in what profound way already impacted your organization? And I'll go back to the beginning here and we'll start with Camila.
Thank you. We think that it's really made us reflect on if we're being effective. You know, what is the impact of our work and our partnership with, you know, the school districts of North Texas when we're talking to first-time or potential first-time voters. The social innovation program has really made us think about just our strategy and the outcomes that we're getting. And we're okay with making changes if that's what we learn from this experience.
Tammy, is that true? Tammy from Empowering the Masses, Tammy Johnson, would you say that's true for you as well, that when you're in the middle of it and you're working toward the cause, you don't always have the means and the methods to find out how you're meeting milestones?
Right. And I think what the Social Innovation Accelerator, not I think I know, what the Social Innovation Accelerator program has done for us is given us a seat at the table and given us access to mentors that will help guide us strategically to our end goal, which is self-sustainability for us as an organization, but also for the individuals that we're serving, making sure that we were taking a holistic approach and a holistic view at the services we're providing, making sure that it's effective and efficient for the community that we're serving.
Wayne, getting through the program to this point, Wayne Sims from Cornerstone Crossroads Academy, getting to this point, what has been the most profound revelation you've had thanks to the United Way?
For us, I think the most profound revelation is that when you have the proper access, when you have the proper mentorship, things that you've been doing for a while, or even things that you know you need to do, you can actually achieve on such a higher scale. And so we've been graduating students since 2008, and we've been trying to get them set up with work programs. But with the guidance that we've gotten from this program, with the access, the funding, we've taken it to a whole nother level.
All right, Dania Carter from Heart of Courage, a little bit of a different question for you, and it's about the competition among each of you. Despite the fact that you're competing for this money, have you learned something from each other just going through this process? Do you share ideas? Do you offer support and advice where others might need it?
Absolutely, Ron. I've already talked about partnering even with Wayne. A lot of our mothers could definitely use support from his organization as well as Tammy and the others. So some of us are really small organizations, and a lot of times we felt like we were in a silo, I believe, before we got into this program. So now we're able to, one, vent to each other about some of the frustrations we might feel. But we also can give that support to say, hey, let's push each other along. Let's hold each other accountable. You know, hey, Dania, you were supposed to be outreaching to such and such and so. And I can call up Tammy and say, hey, can you be my accountability person? And I know she will be that for me.
Yeah. Tracy, do you feel the same way as well? Because I look at what you do, and if you all were working together and in unison on a regular basis, you might be the first stop for someone, and somebody else from one of these other organizations might be a place where you refer one of your clients to.
No, that's a great point. And one thing that we've realized is that none of us can fix the community, right? It takes all of us, and we're all working at different levels and reaching out to different people within the society. And Tammy and I have been working together for a couple of years, and we know we can't do it apart without the other one. And Wayne, a couple of my girls go to school with him. So we've already been crossing paths. And I think the greatest thing about life is when you find those people that are like-minded, like-hearted, in the same boat. We're doing this together. We often have said, the five of us being together, that it's not really a competition, and it's hard to be there knowing that we're somewhat competing, like somebody's up there, you know, choosing one of us, but we know we can't do life without the other one. And so that's what's most important for all of us, is stepping into this together, and we'll leave out of this program together. So it really isn't about one. And that's how we make the community better. We're all doing what we know we're called to do.
I cannot think of a better final thought to wrap up this conversation with each of you. Congratulations that you've made it to this point. Continued success with your work, which I know will only get better with the help of United Way, and as you all help each other. Tracy Hardwick from Together We Thrive with our final thought there. And when we come back, you'll hear from a winner from last year, how this competition changed their organization and is changing lives. And we'll wrap it up with Ann Montgomery from the United Way. United Way of Metropolitan Dallas wants to thank its sponsors for making the Social Innovation Accelerator and the pitch possible. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are wrapping up our conversation about the Social Innovation Accelerator and the big event, the pitch, coming up on April 19th. Aunt Montgomery's here, and every year I'm equally as bowled over by what I hear from these leaders of these organizations. In some ways, it's already mission accomplished for you, even ahead of this final event, right?
In many ways, yes, we love the pitch. It is the most fun celebratory night, but it is such a cherry on top of a lot of hard work and truly what the purpose of the program is, which is building capacity of these organizations, which, as you've heard earlier and from them, starts, a year ago, and it just culminates in April.
And we should make the point that this is one program that the United Way does among so many others that are part of a comprehensive look at the community.
Yes.
And highlight for me some of the other components of or programs that fuel and feed some of the same needs for the community.
Yeah. We like to say that social innovation's at the heart of what we do at United Way, and it's so much more than one program. Here today, we're talking about our social innovation program specifically. We have a social innovation lab, which for us is a continuum of capacity building programs for social entrepreneurs, really helping them scale and grow their organizations no matter what size they are. So we have an incubator, which is our earliest stage capacity building opportunity for women and entrepreneurs of color, focused on helping them get a validated business plan. The accelerator is the one that we've been focusing on today. Those are a little later stage. They've scaled, or they are scaling, and they're post-pilot. We're really helping them to build and grow. And then last but not least are our alumni. We have 74 accelerator alumni and 38 incubator alumni thus far. And we want to continue investing in them, be it financially, through professional development opportunities, and through mentorship.
Yeah, because they can provide mentorship and advise others who are coming through the ranks. And I hope it struck people what these programs are really about. Not specifically, we got examples, but holistically, it's a matter of someone's homeless. Let's get them off the street and put a roof over their head. It doesn't end there. Why are they homeless? Do they have the capacity to get an education, get back to work, be self-sustaining? Are there mental health issues of substance abuse that feed into that? I use that as just one example. The innovation is in recognizing the whole problem and figuring out how to make someone's life better, not just take care of them for a night in a shelter.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that and why we focus on education, income, and health at United Way is we know how deeply entrenched these problems are. It's not a single issue fix, a single issue solution. And you see that in all of our fellows with how holistically they are looking at the community they're serving, at the people they're serving. And it's really important to the innovation itself that they are taking a look at it that way.
I heard from a winner from last year who was able to use funds in excess of $100,000 to help their organization. This is Shakimberly Cooper of AES Literacy Institute. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
Social Innovator Accelerator helped us maximize our impact because now we know what impact is. We know how to define success. We know how to track and measure what's working and what's not working. So it has really helped us grow because we know what we're doing and we can actually back up saying that we know what we're doing.
That is fascinating to me, and it echoes something that we said a little earlier. Sometimes you're so focused on the cause and helping people that you don't really have the framework set up to understand, are we making progress? How much more do we need to make more progress? Just putting those systems in place. That's pretty profound, what she said.
Yeah, and I think it shows how much our goal is really to support the entrepreneurs to just amplify the work they're doing. They already have solutions that are game changing, that are innovative. And where our role comes from is helping them step back and look more strategically, and also providing that financial, human and social capital. And we've been doing it now for 10 years. This is our 10th year of the accelerator. And
I was going to say it's a 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
We're not really celebrating it as 10 years, but I think you deserve to celebrate that as a symbolic milestone.
well, we're excited, and we're excited to see the results that are coming again from the hard work of the fellows. We've invested something like over $6 million financially in 74 accelerator fellows over the years. They've gone on to have an 8x return on that, on what they are raising in the community and nationally from other organizations. They've gone on to serve 268,000 North Texans and form 1,600 partnerships with other organizations in the area.
Exactly what you've done here. You bring them together to partner, even though they're competitors, and then give them the funding that helps them raise even more money by teaching them some of the best ways to reach people, right?
That's the goal.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
to reach people, to reach into their pockets, to continue to fund it, and to make a difference. And we want to encourage people to go to the United Way of Metropolitan Dallas to find out how you can get involved next year. Now, this is for-profit businesses that are doing work in the community that qualifies as social innovation, as well as nonprofits. It turns out our 5 finalists this year are all nonprofits. Ann Montgomery, thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us here for Forward DFW, together with the Dallas Morning News. I'm Ron Corning. We will see you next time. To learn more about United Way of Metropolitan Dallas and all they do to support our community, go to unitedwaydallas.org. And don't miss out on The Pitch, Wednesday, April 19th at 6 p.m. at the Pavilion at Toyota Music Factory.